All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you are welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information. Yes, this is Let's Talk TV, the home of all the informations and all the confirmento matter where they happen for Biafran territory. Please subscribe to this channel if you've not yet subscribed, and make sure you turn on your notification, because that is the only way you can be assured of getting any information that pertains to everything happening in Biafran land. Now, straight up to the issue on ground, because I carry plenty matter, come for you, ranging from the issue of the Biafran struggle, to the issue of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa taking the Biafran freedom to another level, to the issue and that we are also discussing of Peter Obi change of heart, to call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm not going to talk about Renault Mercury, because that issue, I'll hold a program concerning that issue, and then we'll discuss a lot of things about that issue. But before I play the video, this particular video, I want to pass out an information. Currently, a news just came to us that there was an attack in Katsina State, where over 5 policemen were killed in this attack. 5 policemen were killed in Katsina State, by UGM, as it was tagged, UGM. But we know, that these are terrorists, these are bandits, who have been ravaging and causing mayhem in every part of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Now, why I brought this information about the UGM buying 2 security officers is for those who have actually been saying a lot of things, concerning the insecurity that is happening in the southeastern part of the country. Why you keep on, coming out to talk about the insecurities in southeastern part of the country, just for you to create, a medium to, to hit against the Biafran struggle. Also remember that the insecurity that we are actually talking about is a general thing. In fact, because of the fact that the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa created the Biafran Liberation Army, who have actually been safeguarding Biafran land. That is why we have limited issues of these marauders, destroying, raping and maiming, innocent Biafrans. So most of you do not understand the work or the importance of the Biafran Liberation Army. Take away the Biafran Liberation Army, then you will see that a lot of problems will come out in Biafran land. You see these bandits, taking over our land. They are coming back, actually. They are finding a way to penetrate. But the reality is that they've not been able to find a way yet to penetrate, because of the defense team, because of the Biafran Liberation Army, who have been doing everything, humanly possible to bring to bring normalcy, in the security aspect of Biafran land. So why you continue to support, the struggle, also continue to support, with all happiness, because the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is actually working, and we are seeing the evidences of the kind of work that he is doing in Biafran land. Enjoy this video.
Agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look. Yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, You have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place. It's not only IPOB. We have Yoruba Nation movement. We have all sorts. When you have created this level of massive poverty, where 63% of your population is poor, you're going to create all sorts of problems.
Now, you have heard him. The second stone was to, to use it to buy the second bed, which is just to, to criticize or to lay the blame on the government of the APC that, brought, that they are the reason or the cause of the agitation, so that people will be able to abandon APC and, of course, vote for him. These are two things that, he pursued. Now, I'm just analyzing it. I'm not condemning Obio. I'm not condemning him. I'm just analyzing, because after then, I will open the line for our people to call in and make their own contribution. Yes, so it's now left for our people, because what we are trying to avoid is to politicize the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. That is what we are trying to avoid, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself as a person cannot be politicized. He cannot allow anybody to politicize either him or his situation. So, but because all these things are happening on media, and people are listening, people are paying attention, and media have their own way of twisting, especially mainstream media of the zoo, have their own way of twisting the minds of those that call themselves Nigerians. So we are here to make things right, so that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out tomorrow and say, no, I will never accept your offer to leave Biafra, to abandon Biafra just for a mere release from dungeon, while my people, including myself, are still in the dungeon. We think we are free, but we are still in the dungeon. We are in the dungeon of the Fulani. We are in the dungeon of the British. But you want me to leave the dungeon of the DSS and continue in that same detention in the dungeon of the Fulani and the Fulani oligarchy and British. So these are two different things. I am very, very certain, based on who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never accept a mere freedom from detention of the DSS for the detention of the Biafran people under the Fulani Caliphate. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never accept that. So now I'm trying to avoid in a situation whereby tomorrow all of these criminals who are gathering now, including Peter Obi, who are now gathering, putting pressure on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solutions, so that tomorrow when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, no, I'm not going to accept your offer, they will now come out in the media and start condemning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, we have done our best, we have done this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not listening to us, or this and that. No, because the person who is sending all of them to come to the media and start singing the song of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the federal government. In case you don't know, let me say it today. The federal government of the zoo is the one sending all these Igbo Efulefus to come to the media to start singing the song of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu via political solution. So I don't want in a situation tomorrow, in a situation whereby tomorrow they will come and start, calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all sorts of names, insulting him on social media, trying to twist the minds of the people against him because he has rejected political solution. He has rejected it before. He has been rejecting it before, but it has never been made public as it is today. They have never come this, far with this pressure as it is today. So it is because of the heat that they are receiving from the government in exile, the government of Biafra in exile. Now, the government of the zoo, the FG of the zoo, has sent these vultures from the east to come and start pushing for political solution They called it lobbying. They are lobbying the Fulanis. They are lobbying for all the lawmakers from all 6 geopolitical zones of the zoo. These are the work of the federal government of the zoo. Now, let me play you the second video before showing you the current video of Peter Obi, where he said what you are watching on the screen. Now, let's remember. I want to remind you again his previous video.
So I just want you to come out and categorically tell us your position on IPOB.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always
justify their activities. So I just want you to come out and categorically.
Did you understand the question? The caller asked Peter Obi that people are saying that you are justifying the activities of IPOB. This is still during the campaign, right? During the campaign, Peter Obi emphatically responded to the caller that whoever that says that is lying to you. Let's listen to him again.
Justify their activities. So I just want you to come out and categorically tell us your position on IPOB.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always said is.
Did you hear that? Okay, let's continue first.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always said is this, and I maintain that. One is that I've watched killings in the East and everything, and that you cannot kill or do wrong things because you agitate.
And who is doing that? Who is doing that? Is there any time that IPOB came out and tell you, we are the one doing all this thing? No. What we know is that we, the Biafra people, under the Biafra government in exile, have resulted in fighting back against those who have come to destroy our land and our people, against those who come here and massacre our people with AK-47 and go scot-free. They call them unknown soldiers. Against terrorists in uniform who come here to terrorize our people, especially our women and children. Because in the society, it is seen that these two, people are the most vulnerable people in society. So that's why we do everything humanly possible to protect them. So we have resulted in fighting back in self-defense and in protection of our land and our women and children. That is what we are doing. So if that is what Peter Obi is talking about, then now you judge it by yourself. But if he's talking about the mayhem unleashed against our own people by the same DSS and the Dead Men Squad of Chinas and Woru, then tell me who are the people doing it. Because as far as I'm concerned, IPOB, be it Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB of Biafra as a whole, or the IPOB led by the criminals in the defunct DOS, I have never seen anywhere that name called IPOB came out and claimed responsibility of the mayhem that melted against our people, melted on our people during, during this period of sit at home. I didn't see anything like that. So how come somebody called and asked? Because I've not even talked about this video from that very day till today. I've not analyzed this before. How come somebody came out, called on phone? Somebody called on phone and asked you that it's like you are supporting the activities of IPOB, and then you refer it immediately to the clients of people. Can you imagine that? Now, let's listen to him. Let us pay attention to him.
What I've always said is this, and I maintain that. One is that I've watched killings in the East and everything, and you cannot kill or do wrong things because you agitate. It is wrong, it's criminal. Any day, any time I condemn it. On any form of you cannot say you are agitating and you're killing people. It is unacceptable.
Who is doing the buying? That is the question. Who is doing the buying? Is it not the same zoo army? We have all the evidences. What about the bomb that they threw at Ekotutu? What about the Ekotutu bombing? Who massacred our people at Aba High School? Is it not the same zoo agents? Who massacred our people at Onitsha Head Bridge? Is it not the same zoo agents? Who are the people doing this buying of a thing? What about our people? What about the MNE and the LME? What about our people that were sent to judgment at MNE? Is it MNE or LME in Enugu State? Can somebody help me, correct me in the comment section, please? I know that in Igbo land we have LME and we have MNE. Which one is in Enugu, please? Is it MNE? I think it's MNE. MNE in Enugu State, where our people were having meeting in the school. They came there and sent our youth to judgment. Yeah, MNE. Thank you, Arinze. So who did that? Now Peter Obi himself, who is talking. I'm going to get to the place. Let me continue first. I will get there.
It is not acceptable. If you want to do it, what I'm saying is that when people talk about agitation, it is a different thing. We can deal with all those things by dialogue. Today, Peter Obi is president. I can tell you, our dialogue with all agitators.
Okay.
This is a normal thing in a normal society.
Did you hear that? I want you to pick that point. He said there is a difference between agitation, and he also said that if Peter Obi becomes president today, that he's going to dialogue with all the agitators. But we are going to know who is Peter Obi referring to agitators and who is Peter Obi referring as criminals. I want you to pay very, very good attention, because the place where I'm going now, I didn't see anybody who went there during the time this video was flying all over the places. People were, making videos, analyzing it and everything. I didn't see person. I didn't see somebody touchlighted that very place where I'm going now. Let us listen to him. Remember his comment. He said he's going to dialogue with all agitators. But just pay attention.
We can deal with all those things by dialogue. Today, Peter Obi is president. I can tell you, our dialogue with all agitators. This is a normal thing in a normal society, a democratic society. But I will not discuss with criminals.
Did you hear that? He said he's going to dialogue with all the agitators because it is the necessary thing to do within the society, democratic society, which is fine, right? Very, very right? Now, he also said that he is not going to dialogue with criminals, which is also right. Now, we want to know from the same Peter Obi who is actually the agitators and who is the criminals. Now, pay attention, my people.
If you kill or kidnap or maim people, we will deal with it decisively. And I've done it in Anambra as a governor.
Did you hear that? He said he did it in Anambra as a governor. What were they doing in Anambra when you did it, Peter Obi?
I dialogue with those who think to be dialogued.
We only know that people who were agitating during Peter Obi was Bàřřàçk under Masob. Peter Obi never for one single day dialogued with Bàřřàçk. As a matter of fact, Bàřřàçk made confession. Bàřřàçk said by himself, with his own mouth, that he was neglected and abandoned. that these people, P2B and co, told what's the name of Obasanjo to ignore him, that he was ignored. I wish I could see that video now. Can I see that video? Can I? Let's listen to P2B. I'll look for that video.
And I dealt with those who needs to be dealt with. Go and check it. Nana said, when I came kidnapping, everything was everywhere.
It is a lie, P2B. There are criminals. We cannot say that there are no criminals. Criminals have always been there. I cannot say because I'm an Igbo man, so therefore there is no criminality in our Igbo. No, I cannot say that. Otokoto was an Igbo man. Otokoto was an Igbo man. He was there in Owerri doing his cannibalistic business with the likes of Hope Uzodimma. Today he's a governor. So I cannot stand here and tell you that there was no criminality in Igbo. In the whole Igbo land that time, we had criminals. Like Hope Uzodimma is one of them. Otokoto, we all know. Then if you are talking about ritualists and all that, we talk about Ezego, them Ezegi and others, Obanes and all of them. But pure criminal elements like cannibals and kidnappers and all that, they were there. Otokoto was there. So these criminals have always been there, but they have never in any way agitated with Wazirike, or they have never in any way came out on their own to declare that our intention is freedom for Biafra. It has never happened in our history. During the time of P2B, we only know what's the name? Masob. And they were dedicated for freedom of Biafra. So if P2B say he dealt with the criminals, are you calling those that you Kpai and you gave a marching order, shoot at sight, and they were Kpai and dumped in Àřmű River? Are those the people you are calling the criminals that you say you dealt with? We want to know, because P2B has to come out and explain all these things to us, so that we can stop calling his name unnecessarily, if truly we are calling his name unnecessarily. So P2B, are you calling those Masob members that you gave instruction of shoot at sight, and Nigerian army by them and dump their body in Àřmű River? Are they the people you are actually calling criminals that you dealt with? We want to know, and we're going to know it even right here in this same video that he made. Let's listen to him.
And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who's talking about agitation.
Did you get it? He has finally said it. This is where I wanted to land. I said in a couple of minutes ago that there is something he said at the end of this clip where nobody has talked about. Remember the first one? He said that he is going to dialogue with the agitators and deal with the criminals. Now, he said he dealt with the criminals in Anambra when he was Anambra State Governor, right? Now, look at his submission and his conclusion. Pay attention, my people, because the day I watched this very clip, from that day, I knew who P2B really is. Listen.
And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who
is what?
Talking about agitation. You can
Who is talking about agitation? Did you get that? They asked him about IPOB. This is what people did not get. Nobody got it. They asked him about IPOB. That is the question. It's like you are, siding the activities of IPOB. He said no. The person who told you that lied to you. He said that if he becomes the president, he will dialogue with agitators. That is, I'm quoting P2B. so that tomorrow nobody will say that I bullied him or I lied against him. No, I'm quoting him. He said that he will dialogue with agitators and deal with criminals. So at the end of his submission or response to that question, he said, you don't go and mix Sunday. Or the same thing with Mazi. This is what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to save our people who are suffering in the hands of the Fulani, our people who are buying at the Mediterranean Sea. Is it sea or sea? In the Mediterranean Sea, our people are being drowned in that very high sea, Mediterranean Sea. Our people just to succeed. Our people who are doing everything that it takes just to put food, in the table. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out, volunteered himself to save them, to save all of us. These same people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to save, Abaka Kono, Leia. You see the kind of people we have. The same people Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bialu to save, Abakota Kono, Leia, Lesia and Diro. The same people he came out to save from their hand. You see the irony. Which kind of world do we live in? Which kind of world? Peter B condemning his own people and praising others. He said that you can't go and bring, join Sunday Igboho, who is talking about agitation, and mix it with the people in the east, of course, no other place. Mix it with the people in the southeast who are buying people. That is what Peter B is telling you. Am I the one who said it? Let us listen to him again.
And I dealt with those who needs to be dealt with. Go and check it. Nana said, when I came kidnapping, everything was everywhere. And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who's talking about agitation. You can call him and let hear your view. Maybe he has some things you can correct. It's simple.
Did you get that? They asked him, look, I don't know if you listened to the question, or they asked him, why are you keeping, let's listen to the question only.
Justify their activities.
Why are you justifying the activities of IPOB? Peter B said, I am not justifying their activities, because if I become president today, I will deal with the criminals and negotiate with the agitators. And who are these agitators? He said, you cannot mix, you don't go and bring Sunday Igboho, who is talking about agitation, and mix with the who? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now, who is in the detention. You see the comparison. You see the comparison. So Sunday Igboho was talking about agitation, while IPOB is talking about buying people. That is what Peter B has told everybody, that he's going to deal with the IPOB and negotiate with Sunday Igboho, who is actually agitating. Now, all these things he said just to please the North. Remember, I want you to remember, he's saying all these things not just for any other thing, just to please the North. So that the North, the Fulani will say, okay, you are our boy, you are our puppet, okay, let us allow you to win. Let us give you the mantle to lead the zoo, at least for some time, for 4 years, and then we'll take it back from you. At the end of everything, the Fulani he was trying to convince failed him. Because of what? Fulani is also wise. They are not that coward. They are not that foolish. They know that if you can betray your own people in the public like this, if you can betray your own people, then if we allow you to come here, you will betray us more than your people. If you can publicly betray your own people, that is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu has never become the ruler of Nigeria until he joined his ancestors. Nnamdi, sorry, that name is not supposed to be attached. That Nnamdi, that name is holy. Zikiwe, that is the reason why today nobody remembers that name. Nobody, no single person remembers that name in Ali Igbo today. We remember Ojukwu. We remember our fallen heroes. Every 30th of May is a public holiday in entire Biafra land. We remember our fallen heroes. We remember Mbono Jike. We remember Philip Effiong. We remember many of them that fought the war. We remember them. We remember Chukwu Manzog with them, even though he was one Nigerianist. We remember them. We remember many of them. We remember them. But a man with that heavy name, Azikiwe, Zik of Africa, nobody remembers that name in the entire Alibo. Because of what? He wanted to please the North and betray his own people. Therefore, North never trusted him. That is the reason why he never ruled Nigeria for 1 single second. For 1 single second, he never ruled the zoo. After being the front bearer, the person who actually liberated the zoo from the colonial masters, yet he never ruled the zoo for 1 single day. Not even a single second. They made him ceremonial president while Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister. The man that is in power. The man that was in power and was giving command of every single thing. You see that? Because of betrayal. So you will go and negotiate with Sunday Igboho because he's talking about agitation. You never knew that the agitation of Sunday Igboho never arrived. That is the reason why you saw him talking on the social media without any action. Because of what? He was just starting. And the zoo was aware that if he is left unchecked, his agitation will mature like that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking. He was talking without any action. Nobody paid attention to him. When he was arrested in 2015, he spent 2 years in Kuje, and he was later released. He was later released without even too much pressure like as it is today. But when he formed Eastern Security Network, they knew, yes, that this fight don't mature. They went, they broke all the laws and went all the way to Kenya to kidnap him because they knew that the jungle don't mature. Jungle don't mature. That is the problem. So if Sunday Igboho was talking, and then even by the time they began to deal with him and his members, even the day they came to assassinate him in his house, they kpai some people. Yes, some people kpai. And if Sunday Igboho, left and was not arrested in Benin Republic, and he managed to reach Germany, where his wife is a citizen, you think he would have stopped? Do you think he would have stopped? He would have been speaking from Germany. He would have been talking and sending messages and instructions from Germany. And by the time the zoo under Buhari deal with his, members, then they're going to their own jungle would have matured, and they would have taken up arms to defend themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not come out and form Eastern Security Network. No, don't forget what Nyesom Wike did to our people in Obibo. So, and this man was there. Now, this is the current video. After saying all these things, And these things was during the election. Now, let us see the current video, and then we'll ask ourselves important question: why the sudden change?
Some people have attributed it to the continued incarceration of people, Nnamdi Kanu. And people like Àřmŷ and several other individuals have called for the release of that young man. I don't know what your own take is about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention, quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. He said he negotiated with agitators during Bàřřàçk's time, during his time, and Bàřřàçk. I'm going to show you what Bàřṛàçk said. Let's listen to Peter Obi once again.
Down to the southeast here, some people have attributed it to the continued incarceration of people, Nnamdi Kanu. And people like Àřmŷ and several other individuals have called for the release of that young man. I don't know what your own take is about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention, quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that
Sorry for that. Let's continue.
cherish, especially as the law.
It's about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention.
Did you hear that?